Today we're going to look at Magic the Gathering removal that's really bad at doing its job. And let's start off with Flicker Wisp. It is a white 1 generic 3/1 elemental. Now it's got flying. But when it enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Now, of course, this card really good at blinking your own cards for value. But what it's really bad or awkward is actually trying to remove something else from the battlefield. Sure, you can clear it away for like, half a second. But then, of course, what happens is it comes back. So you better be very... You have the opportunity is going to only last a single turn, so make the best of it. All right, next up, let's take a look at... does Displacer Kitten count? I thought that card actually just straight up blinks it. Displacer Kitten. What does Displacer Kitten do? Avoidance. When you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to one target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Disqualified. It just blinks. It just blinks. It doesn't remove anything at all. Except, I guess, tokens. It would remove tokens, I suppose. Okay, let's take a look at Toads, the Reality Ripple. Reality Ripple. What does this card do? Blue 1 generic. Target artifact, creature, or land phases out. Fantastic suggestion. Wow, instant speed. You can actually, like, sort of stone rain somebody with this thing. Instant speed, phase your land out. That's right, you don't have that land until next turn. Great suggestion. Algot with the Witness Protection. Witness Protection, the 1 blue aura enchanted creature loses all abilities, and it's a green and white citizen creature with base power and toughness 1/1 named Legitimate Business Person. It's funny to see the evolution of these auras that like basically transform creatures into other creatures. And even though it's still 1/1, it's still a 1/1 creature. There's still something there. Not to mention, let's not forget that what if we destroy the aura? Then all of a sudden the creature that you put under the Witness Protection is free to do whatever it wants. It's not under protection anymore. It's in danger. Actually, you're in danger. I should say. The creature's not in danger. You're in danger instead. Our first super chat we got from the Clarinet guy. Thank you so much. Best burn spell in the game, the Hornet Sting. Hornet Sting is a green instant. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Not exactly what we're talking about in the show. It can theoretically kill things. Not many, but it theoretically can. You can kill like a Bowmasters with this thing. Oh, 1 toughness creatures, they're dead. Sayonara. We're looking at cards. It's going to do an even worse job than ping those creatures. Something like Steven's Claustrophobia. Hold on, let's look at I think it's Claustrophobia. Okay, enchanted creature. At least this card taps the creature for 3 mana. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Some of these auras, they don't even tap the creature. It just says the creature doesn't untap, so they actually get like 1 more full swing at your face before like the thing goes to sleep. Very good job. Okay, next up, we've got Lord Magicus Rapid Hybridization. This is a card I used to love playing back in the standard days. An instant for 1 blue. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. That creature's controller creates a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token. The biggest problem is that frog killed you. It's like, okay, I've destroyed your creature. I mean, this is probably like a bigger deal in the one-on-one games than in a multiplayer game. In a multiplayer game, you know what, the 3/3 is not nearly as bad as the big bad commander that you have to deal with. But the 3/3 in a one-on-one game with 20 life, yeah, that's like a Delver of Secrets. That thing's gonna beat you down to death. The best thing I liked about Rapid Hybridization was like, someone's trying to kill one of my small creatures. In response, I Rapid Hybridization. I actually upgraded my little creature. That's how I like to roll at the time. I will say, Clarinet guy, give me another suggestion, even though I disqualified your suggestion. John, thanks so much for your super chat. Would Possessed Portal count? It's slow removal. Possessed. Let's see. The real question is, does it remove the thing at all? Okay, 8 mana artifact. If a player would draw a card, that player skips the draw instead. At the end of each turn, each player sacrifices a permanent unless they discard a card from their hand. Oh yeah, I would say this is really bad removal. You know what? Yeah. So basically, so they get to choose what to get removed. So you don't get to choose. They do. And then on top of that, they may not lose anything because they can just discard a card from their hand. I'd say this is a spectacular suggestion. Okay, let's look at Jasper Red wants Orcish Mine. Orcish Mine, 3 mana enchant land. It comes into play, put 3 ore counters on it. During your upkeep and whenever target land becomes tapped, remove an ore counter from the Orcish Mine. When the last ore counter is removed from the Orcish Mine, we destroy the land! Slow and deal 2 damage to the land's controller. I'll accept that. Honestly, this is probably the best removal spell that we have on the list. Guaranteed to blow up a land in 3 turns if the game goes that long. KV2 with Assimilation Angel. Or sorry, no, Assimilation Aegis is pretty bad at what it does. To be honest, it's very clunky, even though you might think it's good. To be honest, I'd have never heard of anyone say that this card is good. So we got for blue-white, 1 generic, and equipment. Enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target creature until Assimilation leaves the battlefield. And then when it becomes attached to a creature, but as long as Assimilation Angel remains attached to it, that creature becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with Assimilation Angel. You blow up this thing. It's like, it's close. You know what? I mean, it's not the... Oblivion Ring obviously is very vulnerable because the card can definitely come back. So that for that reason, it qualifies. But sometimes you just need an Oblivion Ring. Next up, Station Disaster with the Rhystic Lightning. Oh, you mean the the removal spell that may not even get pulled off as a removal spell? 4 mana, deals 4 damage to target creature player, unless you read the dotted line. That creature's controller or that player pays 2. If they do, it only deals 2 damage to that creature or player. Oh, actually, that's disqualified. So it it actually does deal damage. It's guaranteed damage. It's just that depending if they pay the little tax man, could deal more, could deal less. We got TFD-TD, Haphazard Bombardment. Haphazard. This is a 6 mana enchantment. Enters the battlefield, choose 4 non-enchantment permanents you don't control and put an aim counter on them. Oh, wait a minute. I got an aim sound effect. At the beginning of your end step, if 2 or more permanents you don't control have an aim counter on them, destroy one of those permanents at random. Gonna roll the dice. It's Russian roulette here. Maybe you go, maybe you don't. The downside is if you live, you don't get double the money. Kagan, thanks so much, very much for your super chat. On thin ice, safer by being on a land. This is actually a very underrated removal spell, in my opinion, because it's a white aura, snow enchantment, enchant snow land you control. So like, hopefully no one blows up the land. Hopefully no one plays an Orcish Mine on your on thin ice snow land. I'll just say that. Hopefully there's no orcs mining around there. Because when On Thin Ice enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until On Thin Ice leaves the battlefield. Make sure that global warming doesn't melt that ice. That creature will be coming back in a jiffy. Okay, we got Bastock Republic with Essence Vortex. Essence. Is this a removal spell? Okay, 3 mana, bury target creature. That's creature's controller may counter this spell by paying this creature's toughness and life. Oh, absolutely. And then effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. Try to kill my thing? Well, you get nothing. It's just a weird burn spell. Creature that the toughness and life. So if my creature has 5 toughness, I just pay 5 life, and then that's it. I get to keep my creature. Next up, we got Christopher B with the Deep Mirror. Christopher B always goes deep into the card pool. Why are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? This wasn't a super chat. I don't even know what this does. All right, I'm staring at this. I know this is a legal Magic the Gathering card in some formats. some, not even legacy or vintage anymore. It's scrapped. It's got, the judges don't want to deal with this card anymore. Not to mention the tournament software. Anyway, so yeah, here it is. Deep fried mirror or deep mirror. Okay, give me a better one. Giant, okay, giant mana. Another one! Get it out of here! I don't know what this does. Not legal in Commander. It's complete. Yes, it's very. They're very legal in Commander. See, Commander, very legal. Not legal in Oathbreaker. the last haven is the damn Commander format for these sticker cards. Okay, well, let's look at Bab Lab. Oh, sorry, Bab Lab with Ember Shot. Pretty sure that is a good removal spell, isn't it? 7 mana. It will deal 3 damage to our creature player and draw you a card. This is too good for this show. It will literally be a great 3 damage. David Howard with the Goblin Coward. I have a feeling people who are just joining us. What? Why? What does it do? When whenever a creature attacks, but a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. When this permanent leaves the battlefield, you may destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It's not even a bad removal spell. It actually literally removes things. Chaos Orb does not count either. Maybe, okay, it's like cards, you know, think of like flickering or suspending or like, you know, destroying and leaving a body, or like you attempt to kill and there's some way to counter it. You know, this is what you got to think up here. It's funny. I think the people earlier on the show had a better idea than the people who just jumped in just recently. They saw Christopher B's sticker thing, and now we've become derailed big time. Tokyo Joe, betrayal of flesh. Okay, this is a 6 mana instant. Choose one. Destroy target creature or return target creature card from your graveyards to play. No, it's too good. Destroys creatures. It's got to be like a removal spell that is like really temporary or doesn't really remove the card at all. Yes, Pongify qualifies. Now, Pongify qualifies because you destroy the creature, but you leave a dirty ape behind. You get a 3/3 dirty ape. So even though you killed one thing, well, it's like you just replaced one threat with another threat. We got a super chat. We got from Elixir. Please save the show, Elixir. 9-ringed bow. 9-ring bow is a 3-mana artifact. Tap 9-ring bow deals 1 damage to target spirit. Now, if that creature would be put into a graveyard this turn, remove it from the game instead. Doesn't qualify either. So we're gonna give your super chat to somebody. I don't know who we're gonna give it to. I'm just firing left, right, and center today. We're just disqualifying everybody. Magus of the Chains. Okay, well, do you know what? This is a donated super chat, so I'll give it to you. This is a 2-mana human wizard for 2/2. If a player would draw a card, except the first one they would draw in each of their draw steps, that player discards a card instead. If the player discards a card this way, this is not even removal. We are like so far off topic at this point. Okay, Divine Gambit to save the show. To save. Okay, this is a great suggestion. It's a white sorcery. Now you can exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls. But then that player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. So you're taking a big gamble if they have something good or not. You know what would be a really good combo? Thoughtseize plus this card. Because they'd know exactly what's coming. Or if there's anything like coming bad at all. Lucien with Blizzard. Blizzard. Okay, this is a new card to me. It's a green enchantment with commutative upkeep 2. You cannot cast Blizzard if you control no snow-covered lands. During creatures with flying do not untap during their controller's untap phase. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is a grade A card. Everyone learn from Lucian, people. All right, Lucian is the new top student in the class. Everyone has to take from their example here, okay? Next up, let's take... I don't know who I disqualified now. I have no idea. Julian with detention vortex. Did we look at this one already? No, we didn't. A white aura. Enchant non-land permanent. Enchant permanent can attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Pay 3. Destroy Detention Vortex. Only your opponents may activate this ability, and only as a sorcery. Fantastic example. That is doing a terrible job. And they get, oh, but they have to do it at sorcery speed. Still, like, it's worth it. It's basically, it's like Swords to Plowshares, but I can pay 3 to get my card back. All right, we got Trisaru with Entrapment Maneuver. Entrapment Maneuver. I've disqualified like 2 or 3 super chats today. We got 4 mana instant. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature. You create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens, where X is that creature's toughness. Close enough! Now, if they're attacking with a lot of creatures, you may not get what you want. So the only way it's going to work is if they attack with exactly 1 creature. Then you know exactly who you want. Okay, next super chat we got from Kagan. Thanks so much, Kagan. In the Trenches is good as an anthem. So you're saying it's not good as removal. Okay, we got 3 mana enchantment. Now, it is the anthem. And for 6 mana, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until In the Trenches leaves the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery, and only once. And only once? This is terrible. This is like an overcosted Oblivion Stone that I got. It's basically just it's a super overcosted one. I have to total pay 9 mana for an Oblivion Stone. And it still doesn't even get rid of the creature permanently. Chris Review is like, come on, at least my joke cards actually had a removal element. Yeah, but it's actually too good for the show. We need bad removal. Bad. It must be bad. It must be terrible. The worst removal. Arte MTG with the Misguided Rage. Who's raging? 3 mana sorcery. Target player sacrifices a creature. Like it. As you say, people don't usually play Edict effects, and this is like a really bad one on top of that. Little MX Doom, thanks for your super chat. Elaborate Fire Cannon. The elaborate kind. Fancy! It can shoot millions of yards down. It doesn't untap during your untap step. Pay 4, tap. Elaborate Fire Cannon deals 2 damage to target creature or player. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard a card. If you do, untap Elaborate Fire Cannon. You know what? This card is so bad that I'm gonna actually let it pass. Like, it is technically removal, but it's just so trash. I've never seen a removal spell so bad. It's basically, it's sort of actually like a modern day Curse Scroll now that I think about it. No, but Curse Scroll never made you discard cards. All right, next up, let's take a look. We got Scoo Diver Jr. Frexen Midway. Oh God, what is this show turning into? What is the show turning into? If bounce is okay, yeah, let's look at some bounce. As long as it's creative. Nimbus Champion. If it's gonna be bounce, it's got to be worse than an unsummon. Okay, we have a 6 mana 4/4 flyer. When it attacks me, return target creature to its owner's hand if that creature's power is less than or equal to the number of warriors on your team controls. What's with all the clauses on this damn card? Kalanteras, the giant oyster. Oh, isn't that like what the tap thing? 4 mana for a 0/3. You may choose not to untap Giant Oyster during your untap step. Tap. As long as Giant Oyster remains tapped, target tapped creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, and at the beginning of each of your draw steps, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. When Giant Oyster leaves play or becomes untapped, remove all -1/-1 counters from the creature. This is a banger card. Death by, like, I don't know, a million turns passing by. Verginka says, probably Giant Albatross qualifies. So you got you sunk you got a par 2 and a whole you sunk in 2 shots in a par 5. 2 mana for a 1/1 flying. 2 mana. Burial creatures that damaged Giant Albatross this turn. It's gonna be dead. If anything hit it, it's dead. It's a 1/1. The controller of any of those creatures may pay 2 life to prevent that creature from being buried. Effects that prevent or redirect damage can't be used to counter this loss of life. Use this ability only when Giant Albatross is put into a graveyard from play. Oh, okay. They actually errated this card, so it's when it dies, it gets a trigger. It's like we all go down together, and then you can do this, but it still doesn't guarantee the job. It failed. Okay, Kagan again. How about Contraband Livestock? Let's take a look at Contraband Livestock. I screwed this up. Contraband. Okay, how good or bad is this card? 2 mana instant. Exile target creature, then roll a d20. 1 to 9. Its controller creates a 4/4 Ox. Or 10 to 19, they get a 2/2 green boar. Or also, for 20, its controller gets a 0/1 white goat creature token. May the odds be ever in your favor that you get that goat. The odds aren't likely. We got Bin Lin with BB gun. Is that... Please be a legal card. Please. Please. Get... These stupid cards. It's a contraption. Whenever you crank BB gun until end of turn, target creature gains pay 2. This creature fights another target creature. It's actually too good. Too good around here. Okay, next up, let's look at Nathan's Scour from Existence. Seven mana, exile target permanent. Way too good for the show. Literally gets... That's the best removal. Exile target permanent. Don't look at the mana cost. Look at what the actual effect is at the end of the day. How do I crank? I don't know. I'm not a cranker. Oh boy. Calling Katabatic wins an answer to anything already pushed. Okay, 3 mana with phasing. It's an enchantment. Creatures with flying cannot attack, block, or use any ability that includes the tap and the activation ability. That is a Class A card. Look, that's the removal we need to see for this show. It's removal for flyers, except it's not on every other turn of the game. Amazing enough. Little MX Doom with the Altar of Shadows. Altar of Shadows, the 7 mana artifact. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add a black to your mana pool for each charge counter on Altar of Shadows. 7 mana, tap, destroy target creature, then put a charge counter on Altar of Shadows. This is too good for the show. I'm donating your super chat. It literally destroys creatures. Yeah, it's not about the cost. You need to get something for the removed, or a way to remove the... Or it's like the removal has to fail some way. You know, it's like a gun that explodes on itself to some degree. Who doesn't have a card yet? The Manamis with Barrel Down Sokazen. It removes, but at what cost? Well, that's the problem. The cost can be unlimited. 3 mana sweep. Return any number of mountains you control to their owner's hands. Barrel Down Sokazen deals damage to target creature equal to twice the number of mountains returned this way. It's honestly still too good for the show. Here, look, Curse of the Swine. Curse of the Swine, blue, X. Actually, you know what? I might count. This one is so atrocious. This one is so bad. I might actually count this one. Okay, Curse of the Swine, a blue, X sorcery. Exile X target creatures. Now, for each creature exiled this way, they get the green piggy creature token. A 2/2. You get the Grizzly Bear Army. You can now face down the Grizzly Bear Beatdown. We got Dual Shock Shane with the Winter's Chill. This one definitely qualifies. I know what this card does. Okay, we got blue X instant. Cast only during combat before defense is chosen. Okay, screw this. I hate the I hate the ancient scripture for this card. Okay, cast the spell only during combat before blockers are declared. X can't be greater than the number of snowlands you control. Now you choose X target attacking creatures, and for each of those creatures, its controller may pay 1 or 2. If that player doesn't, destroy the creature at end of combat. But if the player pays only 1, prevent the combat damage to be dealt. to and dealt by that creature this combat. Basically, if they've got the mana, you don't remove squat. You're not removing nothing. Everything sticks to the battlefield. All right, next up. Joker, the Avenger. We got for 6 mana, a 6/6 dragon. Flying, whenever Oros, the Avenger, deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 3 mana. If you do, Oros deals 3 damage to each non-white creature. Deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 3. If you do, it deals 3 damage to each non-white creature. It's very situational. It's very situational. A lot of things need to go right. And on top of that, you can't even hit white creatures with this thing. I win games with Descent of the Dragons, but usually I just transform my 1/1 tokens to dragons. That works. Okay, Pedgeman has no card yet. Curse of the Swine, but much worse. Descent of the Dragons, as mentioned by the Manamies as well. Descent of the Dragos. 6 mana for the sorcery. Destroy any number of target creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller gets a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. What are the odds that you're like... It does say destroy any number, not destroy all. I'm just thinking, like, if you destroyed every creature, you might upgrade most of the creatures overall. Okay, next super chat we got from The Real Difference. I bet there's a bit of a joke in there. The Masticore. This card is actually too good as removal. I want to see the original Masticore. Masticore, 4 mana for a 4/4 creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gotta discard a card, or you must sacrifice your Masticore. But if you pay 2 mana to deal 1 damage to target creature. That's actually enough damage to disqualify this card. Sorry about that. If you have another card, give me another card. But we have to donate this one. If it like literally kills the damn thing with no downside, or no serious downside, it usually is getting disqualified. Okay, let's give one to Bell. Fatal Moration. The hell is that? You mean Fatal Migration? I don't know what you're talking about. Fatal something. Fatal M. Fatal Mutation. Black enchant creature. When enchanted creature is turned face up, destroy it. It can't be regenerated. Oh, so you like put this on... So you literally only put these on... Well, you could put this on a few cards, right? Like, you could put that on a disguise creature, correct? Disguise, morph, megamorph creatures. I guess that, like, the megamorphs are still morphs, though. Interesting. I like it. Jess with the Beast Within. This is actually removal for everything. So, green 2 generic instant, destroy target permanent, but they get the 3/3 green beast creature token. For the people who don't play Commander, these cards usually don't see competitive play because, you know, the 3/3 is just going to beat you down to death. All right, we're going to look at more MTG removal. That's incredibly bad at its job, but we got to thank our sponsors today, people, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com. Oh, the Fusion Open is coming November 22nd to 3rd. Website is down until the 9th. But you know what? Is there anything else I can say here? Damn it, I can't see anything. All right, the website is down, but it'll be back on the 9th, and I'll tell you why it's important to be back on the 9th. Because they got deals of the week and everything. And don't forget that if you buy from FusionGamingOnline.com using coupon code Nikachu at checkout, you get 5% off all your purchases. And it's probably going to be past the 9th by the time you see this show. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards. The ability to play any deck, any format you want. Digitally online, you can play Commander. You can play Dual Commander. And you have access to every card to play every Commander deck you want when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. All right, back to removal. That does a really bad job. Okay, Station Disaster with Apathy. I'm not actually going to I'm not going to count counter spells unless it's like a very specific counter spell. Apathy, blue, enchant creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. During the upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, that player may discard a card at random to untap the creature. That's a very interesting card. It could also backfire on you. So, I mean, I'll take a gamble with my hand. Might not even be gambling very much if I only have one card in my hand. This like turns almost any creature into a Masticore. Little MX Doom with the Lux Cannon. Oh yeah, let's see what this one's all about. Four-mana artifact. Tap. Put a charge counter on the Lux Cannon. Tap. Remove 3 charge counters from the Lux Cannon. Destroy target permanent. Takes 3 turns to do it. It's very, very slow. Very, very slow. But it still blows the thing up. Nah, I still gotta disqualify it. What is with this? Everyone's super chatting cards that like literally blow things up. It's not clunky enough. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty clunky, but it could be more clunky. Yeah, good with proliferate. Proliferate that thing up. Let's take a look at Zintras with Unstable Mutation. Okay, blue, enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +3/+3, and at the beginning of the upkeep of enchant creature's controller, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. I like that card. You actually buff it before it dies. It's really a buff for you, or in theory, it could be a really crappy removal spell for somewhere else. Didn't you have like the first card? I could have sworn I gave you one of the first ones, Sheelan. Unwanted Remake. Sorry to everyone who got like their super chats disqualified today. Okay, we have a white instant, destroy target creature. Its controller manifests dread. Now that player looks at the top 2 cards of the library, then puts onto the battlefield face down a 2/2 creature and the other into their graveyard. If it's a creature card, it can be turned face up anytime for its mana cost. You ever like destroy a creature and then they manifest an even better creature? I think we've all been there. Okay, Pace is fan forever with the Aladdin's Ring. I've seen I saw that a lot, and I just didn't want to acknowledge it because I'm going to disqualify it. Deals 4 damage to target creature or player, but it does deal that damage, and it deals the damage really well. Like it's just a lot of mana. That's all. And I might give City. Let's look at City in a bottle. Maybe I could qualify this one. It's like really good, but it's super. It will destroy everything, but it's super narrow. Whenever a non-token permanent originally printed in the Arabian Nights expansion, other than City in a Bottle, is on the battlefield, its controller sacrifices it, and then players can't play cards originally printed in the Arabian Nights expansion. Whatever. Just make sure the super chat doesn't go to waste. I would normally disqualify this. It's really close. Like you got. I don't even know what to blow up actually from Arabian Nights. What's legal and good? Bizarre Baghdad? You have Bizarre Baghdad? City in a Bottle. Ha! Got him. I know all your counts, Farmstead. You don't get extra super chats for having extra accounts. Okay, Library of Alexandria is like banned everywhere though. That's the problem with Library of Alexandria. Okay, Evan with Pendril Flux. Pendril Flux. 2 mana enchant creature gains during your upkeep. Pay this creature's casting cost or sacrifice it. What a beautiful card. It's basically giving a card like Perpetual Echo. This card gets Echo for eternity. I like this card. The only problem is casting costs these days are pretty cheap. And it's forever. That is actually a banger card. That's like, because like, what do they want to pay their tax perpetually? They have to pay some massive phantom tax over there. That is a banger. It slays. That's a skibbity removal I'm seeing over here. Okay, City of Bottle. Oh, it kills City of Brass. Not right. You're right. That's a good one. Yeah, also, okay, well, everyone's coming out with the, letting me, they're all edumacating me. Okay, let's look at Lil MX Doom's Acorn Catapult. Four mana artifact, pay 1 tap. It does 1 damage to our creature or player. That creature's controller or player puts a 1/1 green squirrel creature token onto the battlefield. Absolutely. Kill a 1/1, get a 1/1. So like it doesn't do anything. Toilet Duck. Consecrate land. White Aura, Enchant Land. Enchant Land is indestructible and can't be enchanted by other auras. What makes this removal? I don't get it. Enchant Land is indestructible? That's not removal at all. It's not. You have the right card. I think you have the wrong card. I think you were thinking of something else. Will Anderson, Crooked Scales. Okay, 4 mana, pay 4, tap. Choose target creature you control and target creature an opponent controls. We're gonna flip a coin, like Two-Face would in Batman. If you win the flip, destroy the creature the opponent controls. If you lose the flip, destroy the creature you control, unless you pay 3 and re-flip the coin. Ha! If I win, I win. But if I lose, I can pay 3 and we do it again. Double or nothing. Double or nothing over here. This is a great... I like this card. Next up, we have a Steve here. Cliffside Market. Oh, literally. Oh how many troll accounts do you have here? Okay, you get 1. Cliffside. There's no Cliffside Market. Cliffside Lookout. Cliffside Market doesn't exist. Okay, Daniel. Predator Flagship. Pay 5. Legendary Artifact. Pay 2. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. Pay 5. Tap. Destroy target creature with flying. Actually, too good for the show, to be honest. I think this is like... These cards are worthy of a show like MTG removal that works really hard to be removal. I think that would be... I think this card would go very well in a show like that. So we should... I should have another show that's like Magic the Gathering removal that works incredibly hard to be removal. But this removal nonetheless. So for the low cost of 7 mana, that creature is dead. Okay, Rondering picked. Attempted murder. Okay, Black X. Choose target creature. Roll X 6-sided dice. For each even result, put 2 -1/-1 counters on that creature, but for each odd result, create a 1/2 blue bird creature token with flying named Scarecrow. So either we get a lot of Scarecrows or we're going to like -1/-1 creatures, but that's not even guaranteed. Kagan, Saw in Half. Could be awful as removal. Is this even like a removal spell? Saw in Half. I thought this is something you like do on your own creature. It's like almost like a blinky card. 3 mana instant, destroy target creature. Oh, okay, yeah, and then if that creature... Oh, it's really... Okay, you know what? You're not... Yeah, this is really bad. If that creature dies this way, its controller creates 2 tokens that are copies of that creature, except their base power is half that creature's power and its base toughness is half that creature's toughness, round up each time. It's actually the crappiest of all removal possible. I mean, this is the danger of bad removal here. It literally destroyed the thing and made 2 of them. Completely screwed up. Did you get no card yet, or did your card get disqualified? Blessed Reincarnation. 4 mana instant. Exile target creature an opponent controls. That player reveals cards from the top of their library until a creature card is revealed. The player puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles the rest into their library. So exile target creature an opponent controls. Oh yeah, this is the reverse polymorph, and it's got rebound. Be careful what you wish for. You might just blessed reincarnation into an even worse card. Okay, next up, Steve Cooper. Bound by Moonsliver and also a donation for chat. Be bound by the Moonsliver. Sorry, Moonsilver. We got a white 2 generic aura. Enchant creature can't attack or block or transform. You're going nowhere. Sacrifice another permanent. Attach Bound by Moonsilver to target creature. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery and only once each turn. Okay, we have a donation. Okay, so David says you disqualified. You weren't supposed to pick this. You weren't supposed to pick the sticker glyph of reincarnation. Glyph of rein. This is another sticker card. Oh, you must have been talking to somebody else. Okay. Green instant. Play after combat is over. Okay, well, I've read enough of the ancient scripture. Okay, instant. Cast this spell only after combat. Destroy all creatures that were blocked by target wall this turn. So cast this spell only after combat. Blocked by target wall. They can be regenerated. For each creature that died this way, put a creature card from a graveyard of the player who controlled that creature on the last time it became blocked by that wall onto the battlefield under its owner's control. What the hell went on here? So is this like kill the creature that attacked, but then swap it with a card from the graveyard? For each creature that died this way, put a creature card from the graveyard of the player who controlled that creature the last time it became blocked by a wall onto the battlefield under its owner's control. So don't they just come back? Or they can't get the same creature. I don't even understand the point of this card. Is it going to remove the counters from the creature that was on there or something? It's just really weird. Okay, well, let's we moving on with Taylor Magus. I don't like the pacify cards, but witness protection, unable to scream. Unable to scream. You're there. You're a doll. We did witness protection. We didn't do unable to scream. Blue. Enchant creature is a 0/2. Loses all the abilities. You're a toy now. And as long as enchant creature is face down, it also can't be turned face up. But I tell you, you get rid of the unable to scream. You'd be allowed to scream again. It's just like duct tape or something. Spectral Maniac. Thanks so much for your super chat. The Essence Vortex. They can usually just say nah. Didn't we do this one? We did this one. Sorry about that, Spectral Maniac. I guess you just came late. That's all. You have too many accounts. I know these are all troll accounts. I know all your accounts. There's like because you're suggesting the same card on multiple accounts. Okay, what do we got here? Ugh, I can't tell who's real and who's like a troll account here. Dogtarian. Unable to scream has been okay and limited. Oh yeah, it's great actually. I think this is like actually Pioneer playable. I'm playing this in Pioneer. Okay, we got Monacala with Chaos Warp. Don't worry, everyone's a troll account. I can't tell. 3 mana instant. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it directly onto the battlefield. You're gambling. If it's going to be better, if the outcome is going to be better or worse. Now, that's not the only chaos we have. We have Little MX Doom's Chaos Mutation. This is a 5 mana instant. Exile any number of target creatures controlled by different players, but for each creature exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card, puts the card onto the battlefield, then puts the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. I don't know about the rest of you, but if I did a mass effect like this, I'd be sweating bullets. What's going to come up next? There is no guaranteed chance that something worse is going to come up. You overestimate how many mana dorks people like to play. People play with damn mana, well, not mana crypt anymore. That card's banned, but you know, mana rocks. They love their mana rocks. Hold on. Game Buster, Chaos Orb. Nah. It's too good actually. It destroys whatever it hits. You could just wait. You can't literally have it 1 inch. It's got to be a foot, but it will hit. I guess it's not guaranteed, right? Okay, I guess I have to. So when you declare the Chaos Orb, I guess people can separate their permanents far enough that you're only going to hit one thing anyway. And then when you flip the Chaos Orb, you might miss. It's possible. We did Winter's Chill. I'll tell you what we haven't done. We haven't done Backy's Curse. Becky's Curse, 4 mana. Deals 2 damage to each creature for each creature enchantment on that creature. Very, very situational. I'll take that one. If you don't have creature enchantments on, you deal absolutely no damage. Okay, Kagan with Demonic Hordes. We did not do Demonic Hordes yet. Six mana for a 5/5. You tap to destroy target land. At the beginning of your upkeep, unless you pay triple black, tap Demonic Hordes and sacrifice a land of an opponent's choice. Actually gets disqualified. Because you destroy lands. You will blow up those lands. So far, like, so many super chats got, like, have been all disqualified. Too many disqualifications. Okay, the Manamees, fade away. 3 mana sorcery. For each creature, that creature's controller pays 1 or sacrifices a permanent. For each creature, they pay 1. Oh, that thing's great. Yeah. They just got to pay the phantom tax, that's all. You cannot rip up Chaos Orb. It has to make a 360-degree turn. It's impossible to sprinkle. 369 turn, read the card, and stop listening to legendary stories. Look, everyone had their own rule 0 back then, all right? Everyone agreed. Everyone just unanimously agreed that if you ripped up the Chaos Orb and threw it in the air as a confetti, that all the pieces probably flipped over. Probably. All right, we got a big super chat here from Taylor Magis. And go ahead and just say reprobation. Another card says no abilities for you. Okay, we got a 2-mana enchant creature. Enchant creature loses all abilities and is a coward. You fool. Very cowardly. With a base power and toughness 0/1. That's it. It's actually one of the better ones. They give it to white, of course. They'll never give it to blue. Never. Never in a million years. Toads also says owns the card. Okay, what do we got here? Unstable Chicken with Headbanger. Ah, my God, you people. These cards aren't real as far as I'm concerned. It's not legal anywhere either. It's like just a contraption. Hexanort, Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Ugh, there's a lot of Metamorphosis cards. Green, sorcery, yes. As an initial cost to cast the spell, we gotta sack a creature. So we're losing something for sure. Add X mana of any one color where X is 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. It's not even removal. What is going on today? What is going on today? Okay, Jeffrey says, Nikachu, what about vile consumption? I hope. Okay, 3 mana enchantment. All creatures have, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature unless you pay 1. Banger card. Everyone take example from Jeffrey. Jeffrey knows exactly what he's talking about here. Okay, we got Bell. Would aggression count? Telling you all, if you have to ask me if it counts, you're in a lot of trouble. It is aggressive. 3 mana, enchant creature. Target non-wall creature gains first strike and trample. At the end of its controller's turn, destroy that creature if it did not attack that turn. So target non-wall creature gains. Oh, so you can target some other creature? Enchant creature has first strike and trample. At the beginning of the end step of enchant creature's controller, destroy that creature if it did not attack this turn. Like, absolutely. I love this card. That definitely qualifies. It's like you attack or you die. And if you're going to die through the attack, well, you're going to die anyway. Berserk is removal, kinda. It's Berserk. You know what? I might give this one to you. It's like Unstable Mutation, where you're going to completely buff your opponent's creature. Berserk, cast only before the combat damage step. Target creature gains trample and gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is its power. At the beginning of the next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn. So you have to target the opponent's creature, and then at that point, they're at a dilemma. they'll be put to a decision. Do I attack or not attack? If I attack, I lose my creature. But if I don't attack it, I'm definitely going to keep it. I don't go berserk. This is a great suggestion. Okay, next super chat we got from Maddie Matson. Did we do Reality Ripple? I don't know. Oh, we did Reality Ripple. Sorry about that. Man, and then that was a good one at the time too. It was a super good one. It was a banger. West Coast Games with Guy's Liege. Fun story. Played this one of in a tournament and got to fly to Seattle and beat Richard Garfield with it. I was 17. That's excellent. It's a great story. 6 mana for a Star Avatar. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of forests you control, and as long as Guy's Liege is attacking, its power and toughness are each equal to the number of forests defending player controls instead. So don't attack unless your opponent has forests. Tap. Target land becomes a forest until it leaves play. Target land becomes a forest until Guy's Liege. So you're sort of destroying their land. I can almost count that. Yeah, I like that. It's like it's a really bad way of like it's really bad land removal essentially. They even get to keep the card in play. Does your creature ETB when it phases back in? No, it does not actually. Phasing is like the creature's in play, you just don't see it. And it doesn't experience anything, and then it just like comes back. Weird mechanic. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Little MX Doom. Probably a stretch, but Teferi's Response. Isn't that like a weird counter spell? Okay, I'll accept this because it's a very, very, very narrow counter spell. But it's not really a removal spell. Why were these super chats? Counter target spell or ability an opponent controls. Yeah, it's not even... Oh, wait a minute. Oh! That targets a land you control. If a permanent's ability is countered this way, destroy that permanent. Draw 2 cards. The narrowest of all narrow abilities. Okay, I can count that. Next up. Let's get one. Well, Yanchevik didn't get it. This card was printed against Richmond Port back in the day. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was there. Larry Law, Rakdos, the showstopper. Rakdos the card. Rakdos the coloring book. Okay, 6 mana for a 6/6 flying trample. When Rakdos the showstopper enters the battlefield, you get to flip a coin. Now, for each creature that isn't a demon, devil or imp, destroy each creature whose coin comes up tails. Your fate is going to come down to the coin. This is the real Two-Face from Batman. This is the real Two-Face right here. Okay, next up, we got Mamfaxo. Thank you very much for your giant super chat. Tell us the Nico versus Richard Garfield story. The Nico? I've never played against Richard Garfield. Huh? Tell us the Nico versus Richard Garfield story. I don't know that one. Well, anyway, thanks so much for the super. I'm going to donate that super chat to at least 2 people. If you can elaborate what you're talking about, maybe I can say something about it, but I don't know the Nico versus Richard Garfield story. If Rakdos has a coloring book, 100% bet it will take your soul the more you color in. Also, probably only requires 2 crayons, black and red. Not the most interesting of all the removal spells. Oh, Lewis, that's a great one. The Tabernacle. The Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. All creatures have, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature unless you pay 1. As good as that looks, you may not kill anything on the battlefield, period. Lephage with Infernal Denizen. Um, 8 mana for a 5/7. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice 2 swamps. If you can't, tap Infernal Denizen, and an opponent may gain control of a creature you control of their choice for as long as Infernal Denizen remains on the battlefield. That's terrible. Tap gain control of target creature for as long as Infernal Denizen remains on the battlefield. What a fantastic card. Steal creatures with this damn thing. Okay, next up, we've got Rubik's. Oh, no, no, that was 2 freebies. No, I didn't even get through 2 freebies. What the hell is this MTG Fan 2012? That's definitely a... that's a Jasper Rab account if I ever saw one. Game Buster with Candle Trap. White Aura. Enchant creature. It has Defender. And prevent all combat damage that be dealt by enchanted creature. We almost buff it up. And then Coven for 3 mana. Sacrifice Candle Trap. Exile enchanted creature. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. Good God. That is really hard to pull off. Once we get that far, we're not going any further. I know your Zoomer accounts. Anything that looks like a Zoomer account. I'm learning the ways of the Zoomer. Okay, hold on. The Tabernacle of Pendrel Veil / Polymorph. No, we did Tabernacle, but we didn't do Polymorph. Yeah, you know what? You could polymorph other people's creatures. I totally forgot about that. 4 mana, destroy target creature. You could destroy their creature. It can't be regenerated, and its controller reveals cards on the top of the library until they reveal a creature card. The player puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles all other cards revealed this way into their hand. They should make this cheaper for the most part. Okay, I have a lot of super chats to get through. Rubik's City in a Bottle is a silly form of removal. I think we did that one. Sorry about that, Rubik's. You're just late to the show. City in a Bottle. Pretty sure we did that one. Good enough. It is a good suggestion, though. If you give me another card, Rubik's, I'll keep an eye out for you. Okay, we're going to go to another super chat. Ecos. Or no, I have to donate this super chat. Okay, let's donate to... Alan. Zoyo was Justice. The hell is that? 2 mana instant. The owner of target artifact or creature with mana value 1 or greater shuffles it into their library. Then that player discovers X, where X is that mana value. Oh, basically just bounce this thing and then give it Cascade. Next, we got Ecos with the Pyromancy. Maybe destroy a creature if I'm lucky. 4 mana for an enchantment. Pay 3. Discard a card at random. Pyromancer deals to target creature or player damage equal to the total casting cost of the card discarded this way. That's actually an awesome card. Yeah, if you discard a land, you're not going to do anything. Make sure there's no lands in your hand. Okay, next up. Benovsky with Tackle Maggot. Doesn't this actually kill things? It will kill it very slowly, though. The 4 mana aura. At the beginning of the upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, put a -0/-1 counter on the creature. And then when an enchanted creature is put into the graveyard, which will take a long time. Forget this last block. This block may not even matter. But that creature's controller chooses a creature that Tackle Maggot could enchant. And if he or she does, return Tackle Maggot to the battlefield under your control attached to that creature. If he or she doesn't, return Tackle Maggot to the battlefield under your control as a non-aura enchantment. It loses enchant creature and gains at the beginning of that player's upkeep. Tackle Maggot deals 1 damage to him or her. Next super chat from Manfaxo. Donation. I hope everyone is having a great day. I think everyone is having a great day. And now even better that you're here, Manfaxo. Although you've been here for a while. I'm going to give this one to Benovsky. Oh no, Benovsky just got a card. Bryce. Jinxed Idol. Two-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, Jinxed Idol deals 2 damage to you. Sacrifice a creature. Target opponent gains control of Jinxed Idol. Oh, that is actually some really crappy removal. It's like, okay, in theory, you're going to give this to someone and make them sack their cards, but they get to choose. They can also just choose not to do it. They'll just like take the 2 damage for forever. Next up, okay, hold on. I got to get through the super chats. Let me get through the super chats, and I'll go back to the freebie world. We got Kagan. If the last one didn't count, Nettling Imp Can't remember if it did or not. 3 mana for a 1/1 imp. Tap. Force a particular one of opponent's non-wall creatures to attack. If the target creature cannot attack, it is killed at end of turn. This ability can only be used during opponent's turn before the attack. May not be used on creatures summoned this turn. Ah, yeah. Otherwise, that would be a really gimmicky way of killing off. That would be a really great way to kill off new creatures that just entered the battlefield. Ecos Warp World to deal with that pesky Rhystic Study. Holy moly! Okay, we have for 8 mana, sorcery. Each player shuffles all permanents they own into the library, then reveals that many cards from the top of the library. Each player puts all artifact, creature, and land cards revealed this way onto the battlefield. Then does the same for enchantment cards, then puts all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield on the bottom of their library. Crazy card. Basically, blow up the world and rebuild it. We can rebuild it from scratch. Eco said, the first time I saw the word particular in an MTG card in my life. Is there a card that says MTG? You should do a show ranking unplay-tested cards. Pretty sure we've done a lot of those shows, but maybe I should do more of the playtest cards. You know what? That's a good idea. I think I started with some playtest cards, but then I forgot about them. Bell with the Apocalypse Chime. I forget. This is removal? Taps. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice Apocalypse Chime to burial cards from the Homelands expansion. If you're still, I cannot think of a single card that you'd play as a permanent from Homelands, but if you are, you are. It actually is pretty good, despite its narrowness. Next super chat, the Pixel assignment, late again. Don't worry, you're never late, Pixel. You're never late. Hint of Insanity. Okay, 3 mana sorcery. Target player reveals their hand, and that player discards from it all non-land cards with the same name as another. Oh, this is not removal. It's hand discard. We're going to donate that one. We're definitely going to donate. We're going to donate to James. Assemble the rank. And Vile. It's a conspiracy. Hidden agenda. Creatures you control with the chosen name have, when this creature dies, you may pay black. If you do, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. Start the game with a conspiracy face down. It doesn't like do anything about removal. It doesn't remove anything at all. It brings your stuff back. In some sense, it makes other people's removal bad. Evan says, why does Hint of Insanity start with a lowercase letter? These are questions. Questions that need answers. Someone screwed up. Someone screwed up at the printers. This went through so many people, and they printed it. Had to have been a last-second change. Someone actually accidentally pressed Control-C or something like that. Bulky definitely didn't get a card yet. Quagmire Lamprey. 3 mana 1/1 fish. When Quagmire Lamprey becomes blocked by a creature, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. Becomes blocked? So, like, in theory, they don't have to block at all. Hold on, was this a suggestion? Target reveals their hand. Oh, that was like a card that I disqualified. This one definitely counts. Etor, Time Machine. Unlegal? Okay, so I'll give you this one because you donated a super chat. Pay 5, artifact. Tap. Remove Time Machine and target non-token creature you own from the game. Remove Time Machine and target non-token creature you own. So our stuff. Return both cards to play at the beginning of your upkeep. on your turn, X of the next game you play with the same opponent, where X is a removed creature's converted mana cost. It's actually not removal. This is just like blinking your own stuff. So we would never even, if you could target your opponent's stuff, I could call this removal, but we can't actually target our stuff. Tanawa from Islarf. 5 mana, phasing trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, all lands you control phase out. This is nothing. Disqualified again. Okay, we go to Pixel Asylums. Ichor Explosion. With a lot of backups. Ichor Explosion. 7 mana sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Ichor Explosion, sack a creature. All creatures get -X until end of turn, where X is a sacrifice creature's power. Definitely disqualified. It will wipe out the entire board. How about Sealed Fate? Sealed Fate. Black, blue, X. Look at the top X cards of target opponent's library. Remove one of those cards from the game and put the rest put the rest back on top of that player's library in any order. And also not removal. It's like some sort of deck manipulation. Exize. Please, let's at least one. White X instant. Remove target attacking creature from the game unless its controller pays X. Okay, thank God. Super situational removal, even for an attacking creature on top of that. Wood Elemental doesn't count. Wood Elemental is not a removal spell. Wood Elemental will clean your board up, not the opponent's. Alex Bruce with Breaking Point. 3 mana for a sorcery. Any player may have Breaking Point deal 6 damage to them. If no one does, we're going to blow up all the creatures. And they can't be regenerated. You see, someone has to take 6 to the face. Take 6 for the team. Okay, are we at like a point? Ooh, this is a great one. I love this one, Sheelan. Okay, whoever hasn't had 2 cards yet, you can start throwing them out there. March of Swirling Mist is a super temporary removal spell. Blue X. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of blue cards from your hand, and it'll cost 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Up to X target creatures phase out. Would cards like Fasting count? What justifies as removal? It justifies as removal if you've influenced a permanent to leave the battlefield. Your opponent's permanent. That's what I'm going to qualify as removal. So you may choose to skip your draw phase. If you do so, gain 2 life. If you draw a card for any reason, Fasting is destroyed. During your upkeep, put a hunger counter on Fasting. When it has 5 or more hunger counters, it is destroyed. Yeah, that doesn't count. Toilet Duck, no 2 cards yet. Dwarven Demolition Team. Three mana for a 1/1. Tap, destroy target wall. What kind of hell card is that? Alright, next up we got John with the super chat. Nature's Wrath for the Dimir players. How is this for the Dimir players? Or does it hurt them? 6 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Nature's Wrath unless you pay a green. Whenever a player puts a swamp or black permanent into play, they sacrifice a swamp or black permanent. Then whenever a player puts an island or blue permanent into play, they have to sacrifice an island or blue permanent. I like that card. That's a great card. Next up. I think we did Fatal Mutation. It's the worst enemy of the Morph deck. Yeah, we did Fatal Mutation. Great card, though. Mystifying Maze. From Kalanteras. Pay 4, tap, exile target attacking creature and opponent controls. At the beginning of the next end step, return it back to the battlefield under its owner's control. What a card. That is absolute jank removal for sure. Okay, Ator, you need redemption. I think I disqualified your last card. Spinal Graft. This is a 2-mana enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3. But when enchanted creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. Excellent card. So you don't even blow it up. You have to hope someone else is. Someone please target that damn thing. Look, I set it up. I set it up. Now you got to knock it down. Oh, true. Look at that. Bastok Republic Twiddle. Simple yet genius. Blue. Tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land. Tap it. You're tapped. Maze of Ith. That's actually like a really good card. You could say it's sort of good at its job, but it doesn't actually kill anything. Tap, untap target attacking creature, prevent all combat damage that be dealt to and dealt by that creature this turn. For Ginka, Winter Sky. We got a red. Flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, it deals 1 damage to each creature and player. Otherwise, each player draws a card. So we don't even do... If we deal damage, it's like 1 damage. It's like nothing. Absolutely nothing. James with Chandler. I think Chandler's good. Yeah, it's like literally destroy target artifact creature. And it destroys it well. It blows up all the artifact creatures. Nolan didn't even get 1 card yet. Crib swap. So we swap in homes or something? 3 mana for a Kindred instant shapeshifter. The card has Changeling for some reason. Exile target creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 colorless spell shaper. Shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Don't play that against, basically Merfolk decks, Elf decks, and everything else. Desert Twister from Robert. Six mana. Destroy target permanent. It literally destroys. It does a very good job. It will do the job. You're overpaying for it, but you will get the job. We're gonna have to donate that super chat. But thanks so much for the super chat, Robert. You're gonna make somebody happy. You're gonna make Bun Sanity Ice Age. Ice Cage? Is it Cage? Oh no, yeah, you actually said Cage. I read it as Ice Age. 2-mana enchant creature. It can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. But whenever enchant creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy the Ice Cage. Ice Cage broken free. You're donating this twice? How can you do? I already disqualified it. Desert Twister. I have to still give this to somebody else. Okay, who am I giving this to? Because it destroys the permanents. Like if you were here earlier, like the theme of the show are, it's like removal, but it's not very good at being removal. Like, like this Ice Cage. All right, so like the creature can't attack or block, but like once you target the creature, it's like it breaks free, Jasper's like, I don't have a 3rd card yet. Did we do Chaos Warp? We did Chaos Warp. Is the card Get the Point? Is there a card like that? You keep saying Get the Point. Oh, there is a card called Get the Point. 5 mana. Destroy target creature, scry 1. It destroys. That's disqualified too. I didn't think this is that hard of a show. Like, I honestly didn't think this is that complicated. You have another card, Robert? Keeping my eye out for you. You donated 2 super chats, for crying out loud. Mudhole? No. Well, if it destroys anything really good, Aerial Extortionist. Aerial Extortionist. We're like deep into like the goodbye music here. 5 mana. ETB. Or deals combat damage to a player. Exile up to 1 target non-land permanent for as long as that card remains exiled. Its owner may cast it. Oh yeah, okay, that's a great one. So like you removed it, but it can still come back. Whenever another player casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, we get to draw a card. This is a great one. Okay, hold on. Who doesn't have even 1 card yet? I thought I saw somebody. Jaded didn't have a card. Think Dead Ringers does kill something. Let's look at Smite. Pendulmist definitely, actually. Destroy target block creature, not destroys it. Pendulmists. Pendril. This one I believe is a good one because it's very situational. 4 mana. Each creature gains during your upkeep, pay 1 or bury this creature. All right, we got, oh god, we have more super chats coming down here. Ecos wants the super chat. Hellfire could just kill you. It could. We got 5 mana. Destroy all non-black creatures. Hellfire deals X plus 3 damage to you, where X is the number of creatures put into a graveyard this way. I almost can accept that one. Because this one has massive downside. Insane downside. Yeah, you could end up, like, destroying the board, and then, like, and then you die. Effectively. Okay, that's it. That's it for the show. Thanks for joining me today. Sorry for all the buzzers, for everyone listening, trying to sleep through this show. Some people like to watch my show while sleeping. It was a hard show, apparently. If you want to be part of it, though, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks to all the disqualifications, a ton of people had also the opportunity to be on this show, like Jasper Rab and Tobias and Islarf, Benovsky, Christopher B. We got David Gnomes, Nolan, Jess, Steve Cooper, Samurai. We got Sheelan, Julio, Old Boy, Eris, Gourmet, Ferginka, Toads. Who else? We have Wandering Pix, Sage, Bell, The Jaded. Thanks so much for being here today. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep bringing up them coffees, and we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.